Welcome back to The Takeout. Investors began the day with a sell-off as the war in Iran pushed up oil prices. Then things slightly stabilized. By day's end, the watchword was volatility with a capital V. But it was scary this morning. I mean, at one point, the Dow was down 1,200 points. Closing bell closed about 400. So it all kind of evened out. Well, it didn't even out, but it was not as scary. Kelly O'Grady, break it all down for us. So scary, but the markets don't seem to know how to read this. They don't seem to know how to read how deep the uncertainty well could actually be.
I think that's exactly right. I mean, look, I go back to April of last year. You saw some of these same reactions, big swings when we were dealing with the tariff uncertainty. And obviously, it's a different type of uncertainty, but it's still the same type of how big is this going to be? How impactful is this going to be? Is this going to cause inflation in the economy? Because remember, what investors are really concerned about is this war in Iran brings oil prices up and up and up, and then that flows through the economy, and you might see inflation rise again. And then that means no interest rate cuts. So they're sort of looking at all of these moving puzzle pieces. How long is this going to last? How many countries are going to be involved in this? How big is this? And that's why you see these huge swings. And then the littlest bit of news of, oh, wait, maybe there's going to be some relief, and you have it sort of calm down again. Also, frankly, you had a lot of investors buying the dip, because there are a lot of companies that are going to be fine in the long run, and they said, hey, this is a great buying opportunity.
So talk to the audience about the Strait of Hormuz. The president said the United States is now going to provide military escorts. That's got to calm down the insurers, and it may reassure those who are trying to make sure that transit area remains navigable.
Yeah, so they're not just going to provide, if necessary, naval escorts, but they're also going to provide the opportunity to buy political risk insurance, because this was something that was really problematic at the beginning of the day. We were hearing from a lot of our sources that these marine insurers were saying, we are not going to provide you with this war risk coverage because, of course, you're going to be in a situation where we would probably have to pay out a claim because you have all these missiles targeting these ships. The U.S. is saying, we're going to provide that coverage for you. You're going to have to pay for it. But we're also going to provide that escort. And so I think what this is incentivizing these shipping companies to do is to continue using this waterway. What I'm still concerned about, though, is all of the other countries that are around there. Qatar has stopped its liquefied natural gas operations. Saudi Arabia, their refinery got hit. This gets at the transport of the oil issue. It doesn't get at the production issue.
And that infrastructure is a key variable. There are so many on the map, but that's one of them. Kelly O'Grady, great stuff as always. Thanks so much.